Eugene, star pupil back in the. I know you've got a lot of star pupils.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, how's Izzy been since he's come back?
Nah, really good. Yeah, really good. A lot of niggling injuries are gone, and just feeling refreshed. Not in the best shape, but I mean, you've had time off. We that was our goal, to like get a little bit out of shape, rest the body, and recuperate. And he's done that, and now we've been training for a good 4 weeks now. So he's like really starting to come into that zone where he's starting to get a bit of his fitness back and get the old kind of like pep in his step back again. But that break has been phenomenal. It's the longest break he's had in quite a few years. So, and it's done wonders for him. So, still got a big part of the camp to go, and a lot of refining and a lot of fitness to gain. But he's gonna be in awesome shape by the time we get to that fight. Yeah.
You always say you like when you come back in like 70%. Was he even at that after he had that break?
I'd say he was a little below that, like if I be honest, but that was our intention. Like, you got to understand, people have to understand how the human body works. Like, it cannot stay at that high level constantly. It has to be ebbs and flows. Like, it degrades you if you try and stay up there all the time. So you need to come down, bring your body down, and then bring it up again, and then have a rest, come down, and then recuperate, and then bring it up to peak condition again. That's just how the body works. If you stay at that level the whole time, it will burn out, and that's when you'll start having problems with the central nervous system and trying to get fit and injuries, etc., etc. So it was a planned, intentional rest, and it was to alleviate some of the things that might go wrong because he's been fighting so regularly. And it at the end of the day, like, one of the things that's so interesting about this fight is you have like you had these two ideas or ideals like happening, where you have Robert, who's done an awful lot of training but relatively no fighting for a good year and a bit, and you have Israel on the other end of the scale, who's been fighting very regularly, but perhaps not training less, but training in a different style, because training under fight camp, in the fight camp environment, and training without the pressure of a fight, they're quite different animals to deal with. So there's a massive development that goes on when you're fighting regularly and jumping into different training camps, but there's also the other side of it, where there's a lot of development going on when you don't have the pressure of the fight, and you're just training more for fun and to get better and to improve your technique and things like that. So you've got these two ideas. You've got one guy who's been fighting regularly and he's benefited from that, and you've got the other guy who has not hardly ever fought, but there's been benefits to that as well. And then they're going to come together, and you're going to see, like, what is it better to do? Is it better to is it better to not hardly ever fight and just do a heap of training, or is it better to fight like regularly? And those ideas are going to clash, and we're going to see which is better. Everybody has their different theories.
What's your preference?
Well, and this is the thing, like, even his team around him know that to go into a championship fight at this caliber after having not fought for that long is massive. Like, that would cause me a lot of discomfort. On the same side, you don't want to go and overcook, because you've just been going, so regularly. And we've taken, like, obviously, I have some very good people helping me, and we approach everything like in the right manner, very measured, scientific approach, and all the steps we've taken to make sure Israel's well rested, well recovered, the central nervous system's in top-notch shape. Everything's telling us that Israel is good to go. So, like I said, it's everything's going to be reflected in that fight. You'll be able to say, you'll be able to see which is the better approach. So, it's just so interesting. Yeah.
Oh, well, we haven't got long to wait out to see if the recipe's right or
Nah,
not, mate.
nah. Every night I go to sleep and wake up, we're one little bit closer. So, yeah.
Oh,
Fun times.
Glad things are on track for you, mate.
Cool. Thank you,
Thanks very
Tony.
much.
Cheers.